welcome. I had so many topics in my head planned for today, but now that I'm on the bike, I can't think of any. You probably notice in front of me I've got a new windscreen. I'm just testing it out to see what it's like, what the wind is like at a higher speed. I've ridden with it on before, but I didn't really get much of a different feel compared to the shorter stock windscreen, so I'm going to try it out again. The problem that I'm having is when I turn the handlebars full lock left or right, these hand guards just like touch the windscreen and bump into it. It's not too bad, but you know, I either have to try and adjust the handlebars or remove the hand guards, or maybe try and skim the windshield a little bit over here to avoid it bumping. It is fairly cheap. I bought it from Amazon. It is actually cheaper than trying to get windscreens locally. The cost of it and the shipping and the import duties and taxes, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just a cheap. I also have new boots on. My other boots were kind of getting worn, especially by the laces. Yeah, they were actually ripping through where the laces connect to the boots, like these little fabric loops. They're actually tearing through there, so the boots were perishing a little bit. So the boots that I have on now are the Alpine Stars SMX6 V3, so just trying to get used to them. The gear shifts, it feels a bit different. I also have the adventure pegs on my bike, so it doesn't have that rubber top, and it feels like it's gripping the sole of the boot. Like I can't shift my foot back and forth to reach the gear lever and then rest it back onto the foot peg, so I'm just trying to get used to that. Yeah, just forgive me, my gear shifts might be a bit shoddy. Still trying to get used to these boots. I call BMW because the foot pegs on this bike are aftermarket, but they came with the bike when I bought it. Sorry, I think I'm getting a bit sick. So the adventure pegs, the wider peg without the rubber top, and it's got the little metal grating, those came with my bike when I bought them, so I didn't have the stock pegs that came with this bike. Now the stock pegs are the smaller pegs with the rubber top on them, so I figured that's just probably the best thing that I need, especially with these boots. I mean, these boots are meant for street riding and not adventure riding, so I called BMW and asked them to give me a price on the pegs, and they asked me, do you want it with the rubber, do you want it with the little pin that goes into it and the circlips and so I said yes, I need everything. And I think they quoted me something like almost 3 grand for it, so I was like, let's see if I can't get it elsewhere, you know. So I tried looking online, Facebook Marketplace. I tried looking for maybe someone has an old bike that is stripping, and maybe I can get the pegs second hand. I couldn't really find that, so I looked online. I couldn't find the stock pegs online, so obviously I found some like aftermarket pegs, but the one that are more street biased, the smaller one with the rubber on top. And I ordered them. They came from China, so some supply in China. So of course I ordered it in the beginning of January, and then they came like at the end of January. Like I waited a month for them to come, and then when they got them, they don't fit. They don't fit this bike yet. They are labeled 2018 G310 GS. So it was cheap enough. You know, I'm not going to bother with the returns or anything, but I was a little bit pissed off. So I guess I'm just going to have to get used to riding with adventure pegs with these boots. I might just get used to it. I might just deal with it. So that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I've got quite a few little extras, and I've also got a top box, so I'll show you that probably when I get off the bike just now. It's so difficult to shift with this thing. I always panicked about what happens if I get a puncture on the road. You know, I don't carry a backpack with me when I'm riding. Like, wearing a jacket is sweaty work enough for me, so having a backpack on my bike, you end up, you know, with a really sweaty back. So I tried it once before, didn't like it at all. So I got me a top box. Not a BMW one, those are like super expensive. This is a cheap generic one, probably also from China, but it seems decent enough. It holds my helmet, and it fits some extra tools that I want to carry, as well as a tire repair kit and a little air compressor. Like the essentials that you need should you have any funny things happening on the road. I mean, in a car you have your spare wheel, you have your jack, you have your wheel spanner, and that, you know, at the bike you don't really get anything. So if you have a puncture or, you know, or anything, you know, you must be prepared. I really suck at motovlogging. Like, it's actually not a very safe activity, especially for newer riders. I find that, you know, talking to yourself or talking to you guys while I'm riding, you kind of tend to not focus so much like you're supposed to. I suppose it comes with experience. So I've done a few rides. Like, I try to record every single ride, because part of having the action cameras on my helmet is also for safety. So it's kind of like a dash cam that you'd have in your car. So should anything happen on the road, like, you know, I'd have video evidence of it. So whenever I go riding, I always try to record every single ride. Always try to make sure I have that GoPro strapped to my helmet and it's fully charged. But like the last couple of rides, I was just silent. Like, I had every intention of speaking out, you know, coming up with topics to speak about while I'm riding, but you know, there's those days where you just want to enjoy the ride, you know, you just want to ride. Just shut up and ride, you know, and let your thoughts drift away. Yeah, so I think I need to remove this windscreen. It's like really not the best. I mean, other than it not being the correct size, I suppose it is the correct size, but with the handguards that bump into it, I also had to bumpy. I also had to have the I had to adjust the mirrors a bit, so I added these mirror extensions, if you can see it here. Just to shift the mirrors out a bit more so that they don't bump the windscreen as well. So now it's only the handguards that are bumping the windscreen. But I'm noticing now that the mirrors are vibrating quite a lot. I mean, I'm pretty sure I fixed them as tight as I could, and they're vibrating more than what they usually do. So I'm not sure whether having it extended is adding more vibrations to the mirrors. So look, I'm not really noticing much of a difference in terms of the wind. And I'll see now on this stretch, this pretty fast stretch. But if it doesn't make much of a difference, then I'll obviously put my old windscreen back on. I better slow down now. I can see the cops. I see them. Yep, there's the camera. I must just remember on my way back. Okay, so is it safe? Can I go? I think so. The windscreen also seems to be a bit bouncy. It vibrates itself. I guess that's just normal. I feel like I'm getting a lot of wind coming under my chin. Like, the mic actually feels like it's flopping around. Yeah, there's a lot of wind buffeting on my helmet. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll just put the old windscreen back on, the stock windscreen.
One eternity later.
Oh, the cop, I must remember. Speed cop, speed camera. But can they really catch me because I don't have front number plates? I'm just not sure which way the camera is facing. Let me not risk it. Hello. It's so obvious, like they're sitting there and they know we're just slowing down just for you. I'm sure I'm out of pickup speed. I hate these gear shifts. Part of the reason why I'm getting another bike. The transmission on this bike sucks, like really, like I don't know if it's just me or what. I haven't ridden anything bigger than this, but I have ridden The smaller, this car is sitting on my tail. Get off my tail, damn it. You know to be so close to me. I have ridden smaller 200cc's and 150cc's. And I never had an issue like I'm having now with this bike and its transmission. Like you have to get your foot under that thing and kick it up like as hard as you can. And sometimes just like from first to second it just pops into neutral, doesn't even get up to second. Even at the downshift you can be stomping on that thing and it's not going anywhere. What is that now? You almost get taken up by a cop. Oh, he's coming at full speed behind me. Oh gosh. But yeah, this windshield is definitely coming off. The mirrors are too vibey. They were less vibey without the extensions on, so that's not going to work with this taller windshield, so that's coming off. Putting back the stock windshield on the bike, and I guess that's going to be it for my changes.